Hi there, this is Tish with Star Love Healing. I'm here to do the Scorpio North Node Collective Energy Reading. So if your North Node is in the sign of Scorpio, this is for you. And if you are returning, thank you so much. And if you are new, welcome. I already have pulled out a few cards to set the foundation of this reading in hopes that my readings are a little bit shorter. So North Node Scorpio. What I've gotten from your cards so far is there may have been a disappointment or possibly like a bad decision that feels like a personal failure. And I know I'm coming out pretty hot with this, but you'll know if it's for you or not. But it definitely felt like a very powerful moment in your life, but it only sets you up for a Phoenix rising moment. You don't know what's good until you know what's bad, right? So we've got the supernova, and I hope you can see the nice, cool, shiny parts in here. But it's supernova, and it says outburst, explosion, surprise. And then we had the ruin. That was the Fehu ruin. And it was all about like disappointment, a personal failure. So I just think that was pretty interesting how that could feel like a pretty supernova-ish feeling in your life, right? And then we also had this card that says, my mind is exceptional, my body is optimal, my soul is serene. And it says, life is a creative adventure to relentlessly improve your mind, body, and soul. It's supposed to be difficult and frustrating at times. That's the only way to learn and develop. If life wasn't difficult, you'd still be stinking up diapers and waiting for grandma to come wipe your ass because it's easy. Take pride in hard times and use the experiences to fuel your adventure. What's so cool is I didn't even read the back of this card or even this card, and that's exactly what it felt like, right? From even these cards, all of it. And then it says, I practice and become what I love and appreciate. I am unique in my offerings. It says, you are a copy of a copy with magic on top. You are the product of 1,000 generations, but unique in your angle. Don't be afraid to study and adopt the ideas, strategies, and creativity of others. All our creations are modifications of those before us with a slight burst of the magic within our personalities. Adding your unique twist to an existing idea is still a magical, pure form of creativity. Put on your disco pants and do a little dance with the shortcuts this world offers you. We'd all still be blobs of slime if we weren't supposed to learn, copy, and improve. What new angle can you add to the canvas of universal creativity? And I love that. What was interesting is when I started reading this part, when I first got the card, I kind of like only read this, and it felt very much like you're transmuting whatever happened into something beautiful and creative. But what it said was, when I was reading this, it hit me. It was more like, I practice and become what I love and appreciate. And I heard, I'm not going to treat others the way I've been treated, right? We're not following that hurt people, right? And that may have its own side message for you. But I love how it's very much whatever has happened has created an opportunity of this massive supernova to just create change and a burst of creativity. So I love that. Okay, we're going to get into some, this is the Cosmos Tarot, and this was the Cosmos Oracle, and this is the Sweet Ass Affirmations Oracle. And then these are my own self-created ruins. What's great is when I did that first little flip, it wasn't the cards to take, but I did see the Empress. Creativity, birthing new, amazing ideas, projects. Having a garden that is absolutely abundant, right? We got aura, ritual, ceremony, and sacrifice. Wow, that looks like quite the scene that happened there, man. Doesn't that, it's basically a lamb or a sheep that's been cut into 4 pieces, and it's just floating like a rocket, like a rocket ship that's like a, I don't know, it's like, right? Maybe something had to be blown to pieces for this to happen. But it's not bleeding. It's almost like it was already dead and gone. Because there's no like blood or anything. It's just very cut with precision, right? I hope it's zooming in. I'm really hoping. I haven't looked to see if it's doing that or not. All right. We got the 7 of air, and it says foolishness, anxiety, reluctance. That's a lot of not fun conversations that person's having within themselves and with others. Hands up, like, oh, you know? Even there's one little picture here of someone who's like bound on their wrists, like, oh. But they look like they've yelled, they've been in some tense arguments. But the foolishness, I think, is where it's like, oh, because that was like the ruin, like a personal failure. You feel foolish about something. I think it's saying also that you're the only one thinking that it was a personal failure, right? Because that's the only way it can be personal, right? That doesn't mean everyone thinks that. This one says disposition, tendencies, governing principle. Very Piscean energy. Pretty sure this was in the Gemini reading too. If you want to, like, if there might be a message there for you as well. But what I'm getting from this card is like the disposition. I'm going to say the same thing as what I said with Gemini because it feels about the same. Since it came out with this, both of these came out at the same time. So maybe you're dealing with a Gemini, even though we're doing North Node, isn't there, you know, but it's still that energy of that zodiac, right? Which means you could be dealing with someone from that zodiac that has heavy Gemini in their birth chart. But I think that this is saying that, like, this Piscean eclipse that just happened is going to be very monumental in this situation. Like, there is a boom, a supernova of either clarity, tenseness, something is coming with this Piscean energy that's very internal, reflecting. But it also still brings you into a flow state. like those koi fish. And that's still very Piscean energy. But it's a new, it's a thought process. It's a, you know, I don't know, there's some like mental aspect of it since it's air. We got fire, tornado, and Jupiter energy. Jupiter with the tornado and the fire, that is confirming this supernova. Very combustive. Jupiter expands energy. And then you expand on a tornado and you expand on fire energy. That just, it's like a wildfire. And then you add tornado. It's just like, imagine, oh, what? Isn't there a thing where tornadoes can pick up fire and like actually become a fire ring and then start fires everywhere? Pretty sure that's the thing. Scary. Feels like that. Like one little thing turned into a really big thing. But if something can become big from something really tiny, it can be like that for your creativity and your new projects. Whatever you're moving into can have just that same pow as whatever you've experienced in the past that didn't feel that same way, right? It might have been the opposite. But it does say hot-tempered, impulsive, which is very much like the supernova outburst, explosion. Interesting. What can they know? Like, what's the... What do I need to ask here? It's almost like with this card over here, down here, it says, my mind is exceptional, my body is optimal, my soul is serene. You got to choose that. If you've been through some craziness, you've got to choose to find that sereneness. Falcon, man. Okay, your masculine energy needs to really start focusing and creating a strategy to implement this creativity onto a canvas. But also it could be regarding what you're seeing about a masculine person in your life. It's like this pivotal moment with some, I don't want to say man, even though it's man, because I mean, it could be a really dominant masculine person who identifies as masculine. Thank you. We got the Archer again, focusing on something. And Bear. See? Like I said, I almost said like, you know, dominating presence. It almost feels like if someone was dominating towards you, you're capable of being the exact same back. But again, I got that quote of like, I'm not going to let hurt people hurt people. I'm not going to follow suit with that. So it just feels like you're like, you know what? I think I might sit this one out. But just by me sitting this one out, it speaks bigger volumes than your loudmouth, you know? But yeah. It's almost like you just need to go in a cave and focus on you right now. And there's another thing that I'm being called to say. You know, when people direct negative energy at you, or they talk like judge you, or say it to your face, say it online, whatever, about judging you, you don't ever want to like give that energy back. Because honestly, they just gave you free energy. They used their energy, directed it at you, and now that energy came to you. Sure, it was negative in its moment, but it's still power. So you've actually just gotten more energy, and you can transmute that up to, like, I'm good. I dusted off the ash and all that was blown to smithereens, and now I'm even bigger, stronger, better. So don't give back the negative energy, because it's yours now. You can do whatever you want with it. Make you stronger. I think that's it for this reading, guys. I mean, I think that it was just a very clear-cut message. So I hope you resonated with that. I hope it's provided some clarity, some guidance, maybe just some synchronicity for you and your path. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and comment if anything was super resonating. But I appreciate you watching so much. And if you're interested in this, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time.